I am here with the 11th ranked UFC featherweight contender Bryce Mitchell, who will be taking on Mosar Evloev at UFC 288 on May 6th. Here because there were some reports saying that you're going to be in a new Flat Earth film that's coming out soon.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of want to know, how did that opportunity come about?
Well, there's a guy named Sean Hibbler, and I watched one of his videos way back in the day. It was called Realize, Real Lies. It's kind of a play on words there. But ever since I watched that video, I was a huge Sean Hibbler fan. And basically, the whole thing is about how NASA's fraudulent. NASA's actually satanic. Okay, that's why their symbol is the tongue of a serpent. Most people don't understand how passionate I am about the flat earth, and because most people don't care and they don't understand what's going on. And what's going on, guys, is they're lying about the shape of the earth because they want your soul. $60 million in taxes a day is not what their goal is. The government steals $60 million in taxes every day through different organizations. Okay, NASA's goal is not to steal money. The government already steals money. They steal way more money with the FBI, CIA, income taxes. I mean, all that shit is where the government steals money. The government founded NASA because they want your soul. They don't want you to worship God, the creator of this flat earth that the Bible depicts as flat. Now it don't come out and say it word for word as flat, but if you read Genesis, we did not come from a big bang 15 billion years ago. Go read Genesis. Okay? We're not from monkeys. We didn't evolve on a spinning rock and all this crap, okay? And I'm so passionate about this because the flat earth will lead you back to God. It indicates there is a creator, that there is only one earth that is habitable for humans. Okay? And once you know that, you'll know that there is a creator. NASA's whole purpose ain't just to steal money, it's to steal your soul. They don't want you to believe in God. They don't want you to believe in a creator. If you and well, people say, why would they care? Here's why they would care. Because a man of God cannot be controlled. Let me say that again. A man of God cannot be controlled. A man of God answers to one thing, and that's God. There ain't a government organization in the world that I answer to. If God tells me don't do that, I don't do that. Okay? Imagine if all these evil leaders and all these evil things that have happened in society, imagine if all of these people worshiped God and they said, look, we're not going to hate each other. We're not going to kill each other. And they live by those commandments. You wouldn't have all the hate and the evil and the sin in the world. Well, you'd have sin, but it wouldn't be as extreme as it is. But, I don't care if you're a Christian or not, you're going to sin. But the sin is so blatant these days. There's so much corruption going on these days. It's because our leaders ain't Christian and our society ain't Christian. And that's my and it all goes back to we don't live on a spinning ball that was formed 15 billion years ago where we evolved from monkeys. Okay? I'm sorry, this evolution is crap. The Big Bang is crap. NASA is crap. Look, if you trust NASA, just look what they did to Gus Grisham. They burnt him alive because he wouldn't fake the moon landing. You know what I mean? These people, and look, brother, now you'll have to edit that part out of the video if you want to put it on YouTube because it's so evil, brother. They won't even give me free speech on YouTube. If you put a video of me saying Gus Grisham was killed by the government, they'll take it off of YouTube. They know damn well that Gus Grisham was killed by the government. They locked him in a fucking pod in a test. This was a test facility, okay? They killed Gus Grisham on a test. And you know what they did? They locked the damn door. They locked it in. You know what the 3 astronauts did while they burned to death? They beat on the door and begged to get out. They burnt them alive, brother. If you believe NASA, you are a fool. They burn their own people to death. Look it up. Gus Grissom, one of the best astronauts there ever was, he refused to lie about the moon landing. He said in 69, we will never go to the moon. Y'all can't even make walkie-talkies work. Guess who got burnt alive a week later? Because Gus Grissom would not sell his soul to NASA. He would not fake like he went on the moon. Okay, so what do? They said, okay, out with the old, in with the new. They burnt him and his buddies up, took care of that problem, and then they got all these other fake guys who will go in there and lie about landing on the moon. Let me tell you, if you think that any type of tactic is out of the realm for Satan to use, you have been fooled by Satan. You have been fooled. Satan will do anything it takes to make you not believe in God. Okay, I used to be an atheist, brother. You know why I was an atheist? Because Satan tricked me. I thought we came from monkeys. I thought there was a big bang. I trusted everything NASA ever told me. Okay, and all it did was come back, and 5 years later, 10 years later, whatever, I can sit here and prove them wrong now because I know I've watched all the NASA documentaries. I've read all the bullshit on NASA about the moon landings. I was obsessed with it. Then it hit me one day. This earth is flat. They've lied about all of it. And now I know, and so coming from one side to the other, I see through the bullshit. I know what NASA truly is. And like I said, do you think that it's a coincidence that their symbol is the tongue of a serpent? Then you cannot believe NASA. I'm sorry. It did not say we come from monkeys. It did not
Right.
say in Genesis that the world is 15 billion years old. If you cannot read Genesis and then look at NASA's official story of how the universe formed, if you can't see a contradiction, then brother, you haven't done your research enough. There is a contradiction between what scientists are saying and what Genesis says. And I will put my faith in Genesis. It has never changed. And guess what changes every day when they find out something new or something gets proven wrong? The science. Okay? The Bible will not change. It's always been right. It's always going to be the same because it is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The scientists, they're going to change every day. Oh, we come from this. We come from that. Oh, no, we're this and that. It's all bullshit, brother. They make it up on the fly. And every scientist that you think is an astrophysicist, brother, they're nothing but frauds. It's that simple. Neil deGrasse Tyson, fraud. Bill Nye the Science Guy, fraud. All these people that are saying, "Oh yeah, we're sending rovers to Mars," frauds. There is a firmament. Go read Genesis, brother. There is a firmament around this earth. There is a firmament around the earth. No man has passed the firmament. In the name of God, that is the truth. Amen.
I appreciate that, man. It's good for the viewers out there that may not know all of this. It's good to, get that information out there. And, I'm looking forward to watching that when it actually comes out. When does it come out? Because I wasn't able to get an actual date, but when does it air? And where can we watch it?
So I think that is next week. So the basis of the film is not actually proving the Earth is flat because Sean has made so many flat Earth films. But what this film does, level with me, it basically the whole gist of it is they're going to prove that there's a firmament that, just like God said in Genesis, um, they're going to prove that all the astronauts that people think died in the Apollo whatever, that space launch where there were 7 astronauts that blew up on live TV.
Yeah.
All 7 are alive, and he videos all 7. He walks right up to them, plain daylight, calls them by their name, and has a camera in their face. And so that's really what the film is about. It's about proving a firmament and proving that these astronauts that they said are dead just moved states. Some of them changed names. Some of them kept the same name. But he finds these living astronauts that were supposed to be blown up in uh, this huge crash. Let me tell you why they faked that crash. Because during that time, the interest in astronauts went way down. Of course, NASA's all about money, and they needed views. It's that simple. Their views went down. They had already done all these moon landings, and they couldn't think of anything to get people on the TV. So what they did during this Apollo planned crash, planned destruction, is that it was the only space launch, space rocket launch ever where schools were forced to broadcast it on TV. So that's a red flag right there. Back in the day, every single school in this country stopped what they were doing and they turned on the TV for the kids. They made children watch this on TV. That's a fact. You can say Bryce Mitchell is stupid, this, that, whatever. I don't care. Go and look. By law, it is a fact that every single school forced children to watch that explosion. Now you say, why was that one so important? Because that was the money maker. After that moment, everybody wanted to give money to astronauts. Everybody wanted to talk about space again. It revived the NASA program. It continued the fraud going. It continued the misconception. Brother, there's so much fraudulent stuff going on. I mean, it's like you think they're beyond faking a moon landing, brother. On September 11th, our leaders blew up one of our own buildings, three of our own buildings to start a war to go kill millions of more people. You got to understand, when you do your research, there is nothing that this government won't do for money. They have sold their souls to the devil, brother. They blow up our own buildings like they did on 9/11. I'm here to tell you, 20 people with box cutters didn't hijack those planes, okay? Our government was in on 9/11. That's why World Trade Center 7 fell down and a plane didn't even hit it. That's the first steel high-rise building to ever fall without an impact of some sort. It was just a fire. Those buildings are coated in a fireproofing. Like if you go inside one of these World Trade Center 7s and you look at the steel beams, they have like 1 foot thick of fireproof on them. So how did a fire burn down World Trade Center 7? Brother, it didn't. Our own government blew the fucking building up so they could start this war. Do you know how much money Halliburton made off the war after 9/11? Brother, we're talking billions. Billions, okay? They had no bid military contracts, okay? That means that they have no competition, okay? And they're a military contractor. They got fucking rich off this war. You know who was a CEO of Halliburton? Our fucking vice president, Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney was a CEO of Halliburton. Halliburton, when the war broke out, got a no-bid contract and made bajillions. Anybody with Halliburton stock got rich. You think a CEO of Halliburton had Halliburton stock? You bet your fucking ass, dude. The whole thing is rigged, brother. This country ain't as free as we think. And I mean, I just don't. It's evil, brother. But I also believe the rapture is coming. The second coming of Christ. So, people are in for a rude awakening if they haven't turned to Jesus yet.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. We'll speak soon. You have a good one.
Okay, brother.